Estás? Go drink a coffee.
I have my coffee right here.
Drink your coffee. Put it up there. Everybody can see it.
I have my coffee. And I have my kidney juice.
I don't understand. It's just so many liquids.
And they're both Stanley. Stanley, if you want to sponsor.
Please do. That woman has spent thousands of dollars.
No, not thousands.
Hundreds then.
But who is FaceTiming you right now?
Alex.
But she knows that we're recording the podcast. No?
You're on FaceTime. Don't be weird. What the heck just happened? Are you okay?
Alex, what the hell?
I'm 13 minutes into the series finale of
I wish we can get a picture of this.
I want you to be okay. Where's your phone? You have your phone. Please be okay. Okay, fine. Yeah. She doesn't have her phone. Talk to me. What is happening in the episode? Anna's already.
I love spoilers, so you can just tell me. I won't understand that.
She's not No, you don't. You love this show.
She loves it so much.
You're so passionate about it.
For anyone who's just tuning in, Alex's face.
Alex is not okay.
Alex is a mess right now.
We'll cut this out a little bit. Are you okay?
She's watching the series finale of Ted Lasso. If you saw it, you know.
Okay. That's enough screenshots. Bye. Rock them Beminies. Every time the beat drop. Where's that from? What song is that?
I forgot the name.
I rock them Beminies. Every time the beat drop.
The other day I heard a song and it was Paul Wall.
I love Paul Wall.
But he wasn't there because there was like a recording of the song. I was just like, that's so weird. He should be there. Like,
wait a minute. Was it Paul Wall? Or was it
yeah, because the song says it's Paul Wall.
Oh, well, yeah. No, because there's this, I believe he's Mexican Texan. Like he's both.
And he sounds like Paul Wall.
Igualito. Pero es un gordo así. And he's lindo. He has a pretty face.
Oh, Paul Wall was good. Well, back then, not now.
No, now he looks like a dad. He has a comb over.
Yeah.
Que lindo.
He took out his grill.
Oh, well. For now.
Let me see your grill.
Yeah. Your grill.
Yeah.
Your grill. I think that's a good time of any. Yeah. Welcome back to the We Should Know This podcast. I am your host, Soph.
And I'm your other host, Anna.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to another lesson. Welcome back to another Yuri Learnings.
Yuri's Learning.
I'm Yuri Learning, and this is Yuri Learning as well.
Yuri's Learning. Is there any new updates?
What's
new with you, Soph?
What's new with me?
Nothing. What's new with me?
What's new with you, Anna? Oh, Anna had a health scare the other day.
I was at urgent care the other day.
That's right.
For a little health emergency.
She's fine.
Here's to hoping. I'm on antibiotics now. So.
Right, you're fine. So
okay, well.
What do you mean here's to hoping, guy?
Well, because they said if I don't get better with the antibiotics, then I need to go back.
Are you feeling better?
Slightly.
So then you're getting better.
Okay, well. The time of the month also came in. So.
Okay, we don't need to tell the people that.
All the
Nobody
flashing. We're like all adults. Guys know that women go through the monthly subscription.
You make it sound like a choice.
It's the monthly subscription of Shark Week.
Okay. Again, you make it sound like a choice because a subscription is a choice.
It's a choice that Eve made for us.
We'll handle her when we get there.
When we get to heaven or whatever.
You can bring that girl over here really quick. We want to talk to her.
I had a health scare, but I'm fine now. Changed my hair. I don't know if you can tell in this lighting.
You can't. Well, yes, it's a lot more red. Shout out to Rach.
Shout out to the queen herself.
La Rachel.
Rachel Ringwood Garcia.
That's right. She's Hispanic.
I would tell you to go book with her, but she's booked and busy. Sorry,
she's really, really important.
Yeah,
she really is though. But yeah, no, it looks nice. Good for you.
Thank you so much.
This is a new shirt. That's as much new as I rebought it because I really like it. So I repurchased it when I went to
Where did you buy that from?
Disney. The Emporium.
That looks like, not that it's a bad thing, but it looks like one of the shirts that you could just go and buy from Walmart Disney section.
Right, and this is why I love it.
Oh, got it. Because it's very touristy.
Yeah.
But it's from actual Disney.
Yeah, it's from the Emporium.
Okay, well, it's
I
cute.
love it. Thank you.
I thought you already had it. I didn't.
I do, but I like messed it up. Like I wore it too much and kind of wore out. So I was just like, I think I need.
My
it
shirt is
again.
new too.
Just in time for the spooky season.
Spooky season, Disney spooky season.
Que lindo.
Super cute.
Where'd you get that? It's a small shop.
It's a small shop, and
Shout out to
I
small
also
shop.
have gibbets, same gibbets on my Crocs.
I don't.
So yeah, so today we have another lesson. This is lesson number 2.
Lesson number 2.
And if you guys see the captions, there's 2 different things that we're going to be learning about today.
Correct.
I think in one of the previous episodes, I mentioned, I think I mentioned it about the Apple update on the Mac. And I asked you, I said, what is Yosemite? And Sophia was truly offended and disappointed in the fact that I said Yosemite.
And not Yosemite.
Yosemite, which is the right word. And I didn't even know what Yosemite is. So that's what we're going to start with today. I want to know about Yosemite.
Yosemite.
So teach me about Yosemite.
Welcome to class. Welcome to class, everybody. Ana Luz, Yosemite. Let's start off with... It is located in Yosemite Valley, California. This is in California. It is a national park.
Okay, it's in California. National park.
It's a national park. You know, like...
I thought it was a mountain. Like Mount Everest or
No, this is a whole park.
Okay, it's a whole park. Yosemite National Park in California.
Right. It has... Well, first of all, the meaning of Yosemite... Mm-hmm. It comes from the southern Miwok, and it means those who kill.
Okay.
Sounds really, really fun.
Is it like a dangerous national park, or is
no,
it like
no.
family hangout national park?
It's a family hangout national park. It is about 747,956 acres of land.
That is a lot.
In the central western slopes of... Sierra Nevada mountain ridge in the east central California. It's really, 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 really big park.
Yeah, I mean California is pretty big, but there's also a lot of, I don't know, like city and suburbs in California. So I would have never thought of a park that big
in the middle of it. Yeah, the visitation for 2021 was 3.3 million visitors in that whole year, which is lovely. Its highest elevation is Mount Lyell, which is 13,114 feet.
Okay.
It's huge.
Huge.
Its climate, it depends on the weather, obviously. So it can be hot, it can be cold, it could be dry, it could be rainy, and it could be snowy. So
is it like one of those parks where people go to hike?
Yes. It's a big old hiking situation.
Because I've heard of Zion National Park, also in California. Right. I think. Is that in California or is that Arizona?
We're gonna learn about it. I want to say that's in Arizona.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Right. It became a national park on October 1st, 1890. Oh my God! It was just its birthday. Happy birthday, Yosemite!
When?
October 1st.
October 1st,
1890. Became a national park.
So it's been there for over 100 years.
Quite a little bit. It's been there quite a little bit. Let me go back to my notes. So Yosemite is our nation's 3rd national park, but it shaped the idea of national parks. Yosemite was the first...
It's the 3rd national park, or the 3rd ever created?
The 3rd ever named national park.
Okay.
Yosemite was the first park actually protected by the federal government. President Abraham Lincoln signed the Yosemite Valley Grant Act, Senate Bill 203, on June 30, 1864.
Okay.
It has...
So he signed in 1864, even though the park...
It didn't become a national park until the 1890.
90, got it. So that one was open before.
It was land before, but it wasn't an official
like national park.
Right. And then it became protected by the government, and then it became a national park. So it was the third national park. People say that it's America's first national park, and we all know that that's not true. Actually, the Yellowstone National Park is the first national park.
Yellowstone, your favorite?
Yellowstone.
Sophie's obsessed with that show. Not obsessed.
If you haven't watched it, you really do need to give it a try. It's
and
really,
she
really
wants
great.
to go just to go.
I need to go to Montana and ride a horse.
I mean, you can ride a horse here.
But like where? Because I looked it up the other day.
Bayapa Norte.
But Bayapa Norte where?
Like in like Davie area, like where Sin works. Hello. There's a bunch of ranches there that have horses.
I guess. But like I want to go on a trail. I don't want to just...
They have trails here.
I don't believe it. Florida's crap.
Okay, well, this is what happens when she doesn't get out of Kendall.
That's not true. Kendall has horses and farms. You
I know, in towards Homestead.
Right. So I do get out of Kendall. What are you talking about? Shut up.
So that improves my point.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Okay. I literally know it doesn't. You're a jerk.
Okay, so she wants to go to Yellowstone and ride horses.
America's first female ranger came from Yosemite.
Okay.
Which is lovely. Yosemite would also produce America's first ranger. First fully commissioned female ranger in a national park.
We stand. Female
That's right,
power.
We do. That's right, we do. A controversy at Yosemite helps give birth to both the National Park Service and the environmental movement.
Mm-hmm.
A controversy which helped give birth to those things was the Hitchie controversy and the Riker Bill and Hitchie. Right. And then the Organic Act. Yosemite is famous for its giant sequoia trees.
Oh, yeah. Sequoia trees.
So on my bucket list, I have it that I really want to go hug a sequoia.
I don't think you can hug the whole tree, though.
No, 100%. They're as big as a house.
Yeah, like
bigger.
Like the diameter.
The trunk. Yeah, no. But I want to go hug it. I want to go see one and I want to stand under it.
Is there any of them closer than
Good question.
California?
Good for your question. But since we have a trip coming up for California, I am going to just slip away to go hug a tree and come back.
Sure. You let me know how that goes. Because, like, if there's bugs on it, I'm allergic.
I mean, I'm not going to hug it for an hour. I'm just going to sit there and look at it and admire the giant sequoia. The Yosemite National Park is perhaps best known for its giant sequoia trees, which are believed to be approximately 3,000 years old. These magnificent trees can grow about to 30 feet wide and more than 250 feet tall.
30 feet wide.
Yep.
That's like this whole... Right?
That's the trunk. That's beautiful.
It's big. It's thick.
Super thick. It has long-lived... Yosemite's giant sequoias are the third longest-lived tree species, with the oldest tree being the grizzly giant in Mariposa Grove. This tree is approximately 500 years old. Which is lovely. Here's a picture of a sequoia.
It's pretty big.
You really can't tell by the picture, but that is a giant tree.
Yeah.
Yosemite also was formed by glaciers.
Glaciers? Like ice glaciers?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are the only things. Glaciers are only made from ice. Are they not?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. But I could be very wrong.
Another thing to learn about.
Yeah. Let's see. From there, they began to move. No, approximately 1 million years ago. Wink. Glaciers reached the thickness of 4,000 feet. These glaciers, I am literally stumbling over my words. These glaciers were formed at high elevations. From there, they began to move downriver down the river valleys. It was the downward movement of these large pieces of ice cut into which formed U-shaped Yosemite Valley. So they are ice.
Okay.
Good for you. Mount Lyell, or the Lyell Glacier, was climbed by John Muir in 1871. 13,114 feet. That's pretty high. Oh, am I boring you already? Sorry.
No, you idiots. I'm fixing the AC because it went down to 75.
Disgusting.
Or up to 75.
Disgusting. Yosemite's diverse landscape supports more than 400 species. I said that weird. 400 species, including fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. The high diversity is a consequence of diverse habitats that are largely intact. So, since it is protected, people can't mess with it. Therefore, animals thrive. Okay. Many different animals thrive. Yosemite is home to some of the tallest waterfalls in North America.
Okay.
Which is beautiful. I can't wait to see it when I hug a tree. Magnificent waterfalls. Of course, the best time of year to see the waterfalls is in the spring, when the snowpacks have melted. So they start the waterfall.
Oh, okay.
By August, the waterfalls turn to trickles before they are restored by rainfall. Isn't that nice?
Super cute.
Centennial Fall, Bridal Veil Fall. Bridal Veil. Nice. Centennial Fall flows an impressive 2,000 feet.
I don't want to get near that.
I mean, I'm not trying to write a boat on it, but...
No, I would not get near it. I'll take a picture from far, zoom in, and I'm good to go.
But the tallest waterfall is Ribbon Falls. A single drop of water will fall 1,600 feet.
A single drop of water?
Which is the highest single drop waterfall in North America.
Water.
Single drop.
Highest.
Of just the one drop, though. It goes all the way down.
I feel like by the time it gets all the way down there, most of the water evaporated.
Well, it has to be really, really hot, I'm assuming. But it's not going to be boiling hot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now I'm thinking about Elemental. And the boiling water. And the
Wade.
If you haven't seen the movie Elemental, go watch it.
Wade Ripple. Theodore Roosevelt's camping trip with John Muir forever changed Yosemite. Because they were friends. The guy who discovered it.
Okay.
Theodore Roosevelt. Roosevelt expanded Yosemite National Park to make it even bigger and more protected. Yosemite is predominantly featured in a Star Trek film.
I never saw those movies.
Me either.
I think I saw like clips of it because your dad really liked watching them, and there was like a Star Trek show on some network.
Right.
But I never.
Yeah, it was mostly featured or predominantly featured in the Star Trek film Star Trek V: The Final Frontier. Okay. Just a little fun fact for the nerds. Yosemite is one of the best places for climbers and hikers. You want to go on a hike?
No.
I'm sure they have. You answered that very fast.
I don't want to go on a hike.
But you went on a hike in Tennessee. Why don't you?
But it was a baby hike. Like,
okay,
it wasn't even like
say.
It was less than a mile.
Okay.
And I didn't have to climb anything.
You walk a mile in Disney all the time. Why can't you just walk it on dirt?
Well, there's a difference in walking in dirt and then walking in Disney.
How?
What do you mean, how?
Yeah.
Tell me, you really want me to explain to you the difference between walking in dirt and walking in Disney? There's no dirt at Disney.
So what?
There's streets. There's no bugs at Disney because if you didn't know, Disney was made on like this, I don't know what they put underground.
I don't know what.
So there's no mosquitoes in that area. There could be like ants or like other type of like bugs, but not mosquitoes, which we love.
Right.
Yeah, and then dirt. The only good thing about my hike in Tennessee is that it was cold.
We can go to Yosemite when it's cold.
What if it's not cold?
But it literally says it has snow.
Okay, but I don't want it to be that cold either, so where I'm like
no
annoying.
manches, way you can't have everything you want, Anna.
Yes, I do. Matthew's staring at us.
Matthew's staring at us.
Yeah,
I think he's tired.
he's tired of sitting.
And your mama's calling you.
In his crib. My mom is calling me. Do I answer this call?
Clap. Yes, of course you answer.
Okay. Sorry.
Sorry. So the best months, or the best month to visit Yosemite would be May through September, because the flowers are out and it's not really just dire weather.
It's not,
It's not dire weather,
but it's the summer.
but
in
it's
California,
spring and summer.
California gets just as hot as Florida, so.
It says here 2 to 4 days are good enough to explore the entire park. You're not gonna do all that.
No. We'll go, we'll find the sequoia tree, and then we can go.
Right.
And these for me.
The best way to watch or look at the park is to drive through it. You can drive through it.
Oh, okay. That makes my life so much easier.
See, it's not that bad. It's $35 to enter, which is good.
Okay.
The most famous parts of Yosemite is the tunnel view at the glacier point.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, I think I got it. I know how to, number one, I learned a long time ago how to properly say it.
Right.
It's not Yosemite.
No.
I don't know why I thought.
Mama, you just read it and you sounded it out because
Yeah,
that's how
I
we were
did.
taught with hooked on phonics.
Yosemite with hooked on phonics.
See, it's Yosemite because it when you say it through or with the southern Miwok, and then Yosemite if you're central Miwok. It originally referred to
It's
an Indian
like,
tribe.
yeah, like Western Indian.
To the Indian tribe that lived in Yosemite Valley. Yosemite literally means those who kill. Yos means to kill. And their modifier E, which is one who. And then the plural suffix meti. It was used by the surrounding Miwok tribes. Okay. There you go. It's a
Lovely.
national park.
Thank you so much, Professor Soph.
You're very welcome. I know I thought I was prepared, but my stinking notes didn't transfer. But that's fine. You learned what
Totally
you needed
okay. Yeah, I learned what I needed to know. So tell us, Soph, what you want to learn about today.
So a couple of weeks ago, I had the absolute dread, the privilege of dread, to be summoned to jury duty. And I have a history of absolutely detesting jury duty.
As most people, I think.
As most people. But some people are just like, oh my God, whatever, let's just get this over with. Other people are like really excited about it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not that person. I absolutely detest it. And for many reasons, one being I have to drive to downtown. And downtown Miami and me are not friends. We don't even talk on the weekends.
Well, you know that there's 2 locations. It just depends on the case that you're assigned to.
Oh, I know. I know there's 2 locations.
Tell us the story, Soph.
I was preparing for this stinking Yosemite jury duty summons, and it tells you on the paper, go on here in the clerk's website or whatever, sign in, make sure that you register so that they can then send you emails as to what time you need to be there and where you got to go. All right, cool. Bet. I did that, and then as the dates get closer and as the date gets closer to me, I start freaking out and like anxiety. I'm here preparing like what are the routes I'm gonna take to downtown and how's the traffic at 7:00 in the morning, because at the same time you have to be there at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
and like that's their call
Really
time
early.
or whatever. My call time was 11:00, luckily, so
Okay.
I'm like, okay, not so much traffic. And so I grabbed my little paper I had prepared the night before. I set my route on my Google Maps, and I was just like, okay, I'm ready to go. I know what time I'm leaving. I'd rather get there early. I don't want to get there late because parking, and I don't know how it looks, whatever. I Googled all these things to a certain building that they had said on my thing. Okay, cool. I get there almost an hour early because I'm that person. And as I'm in my car, I'm preparing. I had my breakfast early. I take my lunchbox because, again, it's so unpredictable that you don't know if you're going to be there for 5 minutes and they'll be like, okay, you can leave, or you're going to be there for 6 hours of the day.
Yeah.
So I brought snacks and I brought a whole lunchbox and I did everything I had to do. And I get to the building and it's almost my time and it's almost 11 o'clock. So I get out of my car at like 10:45 and I was just like, let me go. Let me see where this place is at. You know, I go through the metal detector. I go there. The lady's like, oh, second floor to register. So as I'm going up there and I'm like, oh, I'm here for the 11 o'clock, you know, whatever jury summons. And he's just like, you mean 12? And I was just like, no, sir. My email says 11. He's like, can I see your little paper? All he does is grab my paper and turns it around. And since it was mailed to me, it shows who sent it. And he's like, yeah, that's not this building. I was just like, it's not the what? He's like, yeah, this says blah, 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 West Flagler, no sé qué. And I was just like, is this not it? And he's like, no, ma'am. And I was just like, okay, thank you so much. Mind you, at this point, it was like 10:50. And I was just like, and I need to be at 11? Okay. Immediately Googles. I have ran so... briskly walked, because I don't run, to my car, put it in the GPS. I'm 8 minutes away. I'm like, I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late. And they're going to like penalize me or be like, since you got here late, sorry, you have to come another day. Everything ran through my brain. I had a stomach ache. I wanted to throw up. I was sweaty. This place was in another portion of the city. Yeah. Right in the middle of the downtown. You have to go up these steps. Y que no sé qué. I found some parking spot because I was just like, I don't know what this means. And it was just like a pay to park or whatever, pay by phone. Paid $25 for parking.
It's downtown for you.
Yuck. So that I did the pay by phone or whatever. I know exactly where I'm at. I run up the building steps. Can I say, okay, whatever? He's like, oh, okay. So what's your name? I'm like, oh, Sophia Perez. And I give him my little paper. He's like, okay, take a seat. About 17 other people came behind me for the same like time. I was just like, I thought this was like on time.
Yeah, no.
Some guy who saw me in the elevator, he's like, oh, it seems like you're in the same boat. And I was just like, yeah, I went to the wrong building. And he was just like, same. I'm like, then he's not sweating and like freaking out. And I'm here like trying to catch my breath because I want to die. So yes, I was summoned to jury duty. Luckily, I did not get picked because
But you were there for like 2 days.
I was there for 2 days. I did the thing and they're like, oh, if the lady or the judge was just like, oh, if you can be here for the remainder of the trial, which was like 14 days or whatever, go ahead and raise your hand. I just want to know who can be here. So I raised my hand because I really didn't have any other commitments per se. But I also thought that was going to get me out of it. Like she was going to be like, okay, thank you all for volunteering. Now, those of you who didn't, go ahead and stay. I quite literally played myself. And so I raised my hand and she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Me and like a bunch of other people. We all raised our hands and she's like, okay, everybody step outside and you're going to fill out this survey. It turns out the survey was about the trial and all this stuff. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it. Am I allowed to talk about it?
I think during the selection, you're not allowed to. I think after.
Oh, okay. So it was like a cigarette company being sued by an individual or whatever. So like, how do you feel about cigarettes? How do you feel about people smoking? How do you, So I was very bold with my answers. They're like, oh, how do you feel about people who smoke? I think they want to die faster. And where do you work? I work at a church. Religious beliefs. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to see like what is going to stand out. And talking about playing myself. Whatever. I had to come back the next day. They're like, okay, thank you so much. See you tomorrow at 9 a.m. And they're like, oh, do you have your ticket so I can validate it so you don't have to pay for the parking? I was just like, oh, I did pay by phone. The guy's like, oh. I was just like, all right. He's like, here's a paper of the actual parking garages that you can definitely go to that we can validate. I was just like, awesome. I didn't know. I did not know. So I did the thing and I was just like, I have to be here at 9 a.m. No longer 11 o'clock. And I have to catch the stinking traffic. So I went online and I was just like, where's this parking garage? I literally did the parking garage and I did that 360 view and I was just like, okay, it's here. So if I walk down, tiki, 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 and then turn left and tiki, 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 there's that same building. Okay, I think I can do this. So I literally wrote it all out and I took a picture of it. I was just like, oh, I'll keep it on my phone. I'm going to take my backpack. I'm going to take whatever I need. And that's exactly what I did. I went back the next day, and then the plaintiff. I don't know. Somebody's gonna teach us about the judicial system. So the plaintiff or whatever was just like, okay, how do you feel about this, and do you think that you can have an unbiased opinion? A bunch of people stood up, and they're just like, no, I can't, because my father, he smoked and he died and whatever. Okay, thank you so much. I did not raise my hand because I was just like, if I stay quiet and they just forget about me, I'll be fine. Okay, cool. So then the guy was just like, the lawyer was just like, okay, so I'm going to ask a few of you who, filled out the survey, a couple of questions. Okay, cool. So number blah, blah, blah. Can you please stand up? Yes. You wrote in your survey that this is blah, blah, blah. How you feel? And she's just like, yeah. And this is why I feel this way. Tiki. And do you think that you can have an unbiased opinion? No, I cannot. Okay, thank you so much, Sana. And then he said my number. I was just like, there's no way this is happening. I literally looked around like, whose number? Always my number. I stood up. Hello, miss, whatever. Hello. How are you today? Fantastic. How are you? And he's like, you wrote in your survey that you feel that people that smoke wish to die faster. No, just like, yeah, this is true. He's like, why is that? And I was just like, because it's a choice and you're choosing to die. Thank you so much, Ms. Perez. You may be seated. Thank you so much. I was not called back. They were just like,
there was your way out.
They're like, all of these numbers, blah, 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 blah. You can leave. Thank you so much. And I was one of those numbers. And I was free at last.
Free at last.
I hate jury duty with a passion.
I hate it too. So the whole reason for the story is because Soph wants to know why we should care about jury duty.
Yes, why should I care? Why do I... Oh my God.
Why should you care? So jury service is considered a necessary civic duty because we are
someone else. I think it should be voluntary.
U.S. citizens.
I think it should be voluntary.
And it is required by law. We are required to serve as the jury.
I don't like that. I'm required to do anything.
The goal of Florida law is that the jury be composed of a fair cross-section of the community. Working individuals, retirees, members of different sexes, as well as social backgrounds, to constitute a legal jury of the civil and criminal courts.
I'm upset. I don't want it.
Why?
Because I don't want it. I don't want to be told, like, hey, come over here. This should be voluntary. Like, I understand that there are laws. Like, I need to have a license in order to operate a vehicle.
Right.
I understand those laws. I need to follow the red light, green light, yellow light.
Right.
This should be voluntary.
But it isn't. At the very least, it's definitely not something that we have to do often. Like, I also got summoned for jury duty.
The worst.
Like a month ago.
Right.
And like the night before I was supposed to go, I got my email that says that my case, or like I was dismissed, or my case was dismissed. So
Lucky you, humble
didn't
brag.
have to go. But before that, it was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, and I got summoned again, and I went, and I was there for 3 days.
See, that would absolutely make me want to shoot my foot.
Federal court, and it was a pretty serious crime. It was a gentleman.
See, but yours was criminal court. Mine was civil.
Yeah, mine was criminal.
Mine was civil.
But it was considered a federal case because it involved someone who worked for the government.
Oh, my God.
For like a local government, in the sense of it was a guy who murdered a police officer.
Well, he deserves to go to jail. Nobody needs to die.
Yeah, well, he says he's innocent. It wasn't him. Back then, I was there for 3 days just for the jury selection, not the actual case. Oh. No, I didn't. So, jury duty is important to us because, or should be important to us because.
Not to me.
Our public service as a juror protects our constitutional right to have a trial by an impartial jury. So, us serving as jurors protects our right, so that if we're ever in the same situation, we can have a trial by impartial jury. The protection of our rights and liberties is accomplished through the teamwork
You sound like the judge.
of judge and jury.
You literally sound like the judge who was telling us, like, you guys, this is beautiful. This is amazing. This is, like, so patriotic. You're wasting my day and I don't want to be here.
I mean, like, same, but... So it's the teamwork of jury and judge who, working together in a mutual effort, put into practice the principles of our heritage of freedom.
I don't care.
All right, so what are some pros and cons of the jury system?
You mean just cons? Cons and more cons.
So these are pros and cons of trial by jury. Because there's also such thing as trial without jury. Like, the judge will just make the decision.
God bless.
But I think those are a lot more, like, simpler cases. Like, you know, like traffic violations or stuff like that. Like,
Fine.
or I didn't pay my rent and I have an eviction notice. Like, those type.
Okay.
So, pros and cons of trial by jury. Pro is that ensures representation. Because, like I said at the beginning, they try and get... a fair cross-section of community workers, different sexes, different races, different, etc. Ensures representation. Con, jurors can be biased.
That's right. I am.
And there's people out there that they say it based off, you can be biased based off of religion, you can be biased off of race, of...
The first time I ever got summoned to a jury duty, I was in the jury selection, and I went as far as, like, this is what the crime is, and are you okay to make an impartial decision? It was a man who, like, beat up old people to, like, steal their stuff, like he was a burglar. And
yeah, no.
This one girl stood up, she's like, no, I cannot be impartial. She's like, I live with my grandparents, and I'm super biased, and I think he did it. She was not asked back.
Well, duh.
She was not asked back.
I don't know how this is a pro of jury by trial, but pro is that it boosts public confidence.
The public is not confident. I am not confident anymore. I don't want it.
A con is that it hung verdicts. I don't know what that means. Another pro is that checks on power. Okay. I don't know what that means either.
I don't know what that means either.
And another con, which is true, is expensive and time consuming.
Yeah, well, it is.
It not only it's expensive, or at least for me in my job, if I go to jury duty, they pay me for the day. Like, it's because whatever. That's
good for you.
Part of
Same.
our policy. But there's a lot of jobs that they won't pay you.
Yeah.
So then our government has to pay us.
Yeah.
So then there's people who get paid. Like, for example, we were talking about it, and Brian, our friend Brian,
yeah,
loves going to jury duty. He's like, yeah, I get free lunch, I get free parking, I get paid for the day. And I'm not sitting at my desk working. I was like, well, like,
we're very different.
Yeah, we're
us and our friends. No, thank you.
So, what are 2 reasons why people might support trial by jury? People who serve on juries have a greater respect for the system when they leave. Do you have a greater respect?
No. Stop calling
Well, technically, you didn't serve.
I didn't, and I don't want to. I don't want to serve.
Serving on a jury gives people insight into the justice system and their own communities and corrects misapprehensions about what takes place in a courtroom.
I don't care what happens in a courtroom. You do. You know best. I don't. Why would you call me?
And jury trials provide a method of peaceful dispute resolution.
I am not peaceful.
No.
No. It was just no.
Now, what are 3? These are 3 pro positives of a jury and 3 con negatives of a jury.
All of the points are negative. Go ahead.
Okay, hold on. It's loading. Okay. Where did it go?
Little girl. Get your life.
I'll just read it from back here. At a jury trial, the outcome of a case is decided by a group of law-abiding citizens.
Who says I'm law-abiding?
Jurors have more compassion than judges. That's not true.
No, because in the case that I was treating, I had no compassion for the family who was suing a cigarette company, telling them that they're the ones who caused their person to have lung cancer and die. You made that decision, sir,
To smoke.
to buy it. Because here's the thing: a lot of the people made excellent points. They're just like, we all know that cigarettes are bad. Everybody on the planet knows. Everybody's seen the commercials
Yeah.
of like vaping and all the cigarettes or whatever. Especially in the 1990s, bro. So you still made the choice to go into the gas station, purchase a box, pick one out, light it up, and inhale.
Yeah.
So no. Sorry. If you smoke, please reconsider.
So, juries tend to be easier audiences than judges.
Yeah, because you could think you could sway them.
I guess.
Judges are literally trained to be.
Jurors
unbiased.
can be too emotional.
I'm emotional. Don't call me. If the government is listening, please stop calling me.
Yeah, you heard it first, guys. Sophia's emotional.
What? Well, I'm dramatic for this stuff. For sure.
No, but you're definitely more emotional. Not in the crying poo-hoo sense. We've talked about this already.
You're literally pushing it.
We talked
You're
about this,
literally
and we
pushing
said
it.
this a long time ago, or even Alejandra said it. And Alejandra is your best friend.
So?
Where you're more emotional.
I'm not.
But I'm more sensitive. There's a difference.
Stop moving your leg. You're moving the microphone. It's making noises.
You're moving your arm and it's making noise.
So then let's stop moving.
I'm laughing. I can't help it.
Oh my God. We apologize for the audio on this one. And La Luz is terrible.
Okay. Where was I?
Emotional.
Emotional. And jurors can be unpredictable.
True.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions about the jury system, or was this helpful for you?
How many jurors is it usually?
I think it's like a number of like 13 or something.
13? Well, yeah, because it has to be uneven, right?
How many jurors in a trial?
Yeah.
12. Oh, it's close.
But wouldn't it make sense to
12 jurors shall try capital cases.
Oh.
For felonies punishable by death or imprisonment for life.
Okay. There was a movie about that. Comment down below if you know the movie, because I don't remember it right now.
There's a show called...
It's about a trial, and it's about the jurors. Like, who comes out with unreasonable doubt.
So, there's a question here that says, why does Florida only have 6 jurors?
Because Florida's trash. Please stop coming here. Continue.
So, in 1970, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that a 6-member jury in Florida was sufficient under the 6th Amendment. 8 years later, the Supreme Court ruled that a 6-member jury was too small. So now it's like they push for the 12.
Florida is its own anomaly, and I don't know why we're still here.
Now, the thing with more people on a jury, in my opinion, the more people, the more difference in opinions, and the harder it is to come to a decision.
It should be hard. You're literally deciding what the future is for somebody's life.
Of course.
6 people?
That's why there's a lot of cases, depending on like how they go by the trial and the evidence and all that stuff, where they can take weeks to come up to a decision because it has to be unanimous.
Well, yeah, it has to.
And imagine 12 people who are different and have different opinions, different thoughts, different experiences, coming up with that decision.
Yes, but I think that ultimately you're gonna pick one or the other. That's it.
Now, I don't know where this came from, what I'm about to read.
Christ. What is it?
There's a question here. Why are there 12 jurors?
Oh, good Lord.
And then, this is an article from PBS.org.
Okay, PBS.
It says the king established jury trials in early 8th century CE.
Okay.
And decided on the number 12 purportedly saying, for as Christ and his 12 apostles were finally to judge the world, so human tribunals should be composed of the king and 12 wise men.
You said tribunals and it's tribunals.
Tribunals. With the king holding court and acting
as
judge.
Being a jury duty is Christian?
According to this article on PBS.
If somebody out there is an actual
Let's be very
lawyer,
clear that the only person who can judge us is the Lord.
Amen.
There's nobody
amen.
else. There's the 12 disciples can judge. None of that crap.
But can somebody in the actual judicial system, I guess,
Leave us a comment.
leave us a comment. If we know, if any lawyers are listening, I want to know why 12, and if it's because of the Lord.
I doubt that it has to do with that.
I also doubt that it has to do with that. But maybe we're wrong. We really don't know much. So
Yeah, but like, why?
good question. That's my
Let's
question.
look it up and see if there's another answer. Why 12 jurors on a jury? The first article that comes up is the same
The
one.
PBS one?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
That can't be for real, bro.
I know it can't be for real, but like, unless that's the reason why they decided on 12 because they're incompetent.
Well, listen, let's say our system was based on Christian values. It's been lost since then, but it might actually be because of the 12 disciples.
It could be. I'm trying to see if there's anything, because again, there was a 6 and then it went up to 12. But why 12?
It's a very good question.
That's going to take more time for me to do more research on that. So I'll get back to everyone in the next episode
Thank you
with the
very much.
answer.
The comments will have the answer, or
Yeah.
the next episode will have the answer.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Anna, for teaching me about jury duty, and I still don't care for it.
You're so welcome. I still don't care for it either. I'm so grateful that mine got dismissed.
You're
this last time.
just so much better at like going to downtown than me. I'm like, I can't.
Well, the first time I ever went, I actually didn't go to downtown. I went to the other one, the one by
The one that I went to, yeah,
the one by Jackson.
yeah, that's the one I went to.
And the parking lot was full by the time I got there.
Really?
So I had to park on the street,
Terrible.
like behind the parking lot.
Yeah.
I didn't bring any food or snacks or anything. I was starving. Thank God for like the lunch break that they gave us, and there was food trucks outside.
Awesome.
So I was able to buy food. Yeah, by the next day I went prepared. And they tell you on the paper you need to go like business, like dress like business, like if I'm going to work.
I did not.
Absolutely not. There's people there in like leggings and a tank top. Like
That's exactly. I went in jeans and a flannel. That's as fancy as you're gonna get from me.
no,
Sorry.
I went like in work pants and like a work shirt
Well, there were people like
the first time, and flats because you're walking. Yeah, but the next day I went in jeans and like a shirt.
the worst, and I don't ever want it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for teaching me.
You're
This
so
was
welcome.
Educational at best.
I hope everyone else learned something from our questions
I
today.
promise I'm gonna be more prepared next time.
You were
I
prepared. There
apologize.
was just a technical difficulty.
I apologize.
There was a technical difficulty.
There was a technical.
Which happens, but that's okay. Whatever.
I mean, whatever. Mama, I'm bearing the lead. I went fishing.
She went fishing.
I went
everyone.
fishing. There's a little.
But she didn't catch anything.
No.
She went fishing.
I did. I didn't catch anything, but I did get a few nibbles, and I did see fish in the water.
Yeah. And the worst part is that you had to touch the bait.
Right. That was a moment.
That was gross.
We'll have, if you want to see the pictures of that, they will be on Instagram.
Did you take pictures?
I did. I took a few pictures for Chris for the socials. I had to. It was live bait, so it was worms that apparently are sold from a refrigerator in Walmart. I didn't.
Oh no.
No, it was a little cajita, and it had dirt and worms.
Oh yeah, like in the fishing section.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant like where the food is. That's gross.
Bro. No, they're in a refrigerator in the fishing section in Walmart. I did not know that, but Melissa and Zach were the ones who bought it, and I saw them do it and hard passo. But then Zachary had left to go do something, and Melissa's hands were busy, and I was just like, "But I want to cast.
Yeah,
like I want to do the thing." So she's like, "Okay, well, you're gonna have to do the bait thing." And so what we do is that you pull the worm out, and you have to cut it out in pieces.
I'm gonna throw up.
You had to cut it in pieces. I cut it into a section. She's like, "It's fine. He's gonna go ahead and regrow that." And I was just like, "Do you understand that I'm murdering this thing, right?"
Yeah.
She was like, "No, it's alive." I was just like, "Ew." So I had to cut it in a section and then poke it through the little hook. And then I think the hardest part was the casting. It's harder than it looks. It really is not that easy.
I believe you.
every so often, and when I say every so often, very often, Zachary was just like, okay, your string is all knotted.
Yeah.
So he's like, take it apart. He was such a good sport about it. Me and Alex went with them too, who are like seasoned
fishers.
I think he had to cut like a chunk off of Alex's string because it was just so knotted that he's like, I can't get this off. So chunk off, and then luckily he says they always give you extra when you buy the rods. So we had to redo it, and it was nice. It was such a nice time. I have zero complaints. It was such a learning experience. I'm definitely doing it again. I got my fishing license, so if you want to invite me, go ahead and invite me.
Fishing license?
I do for Florida. And the only thing I have a quarrel with is that I was attacked by a dragonfly, and I didn't appreciate it. I was standing there just waiting, and right here on my neck, and I was just like, be so for real.
I'm gonna be my pants.
Please don't. I was just like, are you joking? And I was like, are you okay? I was just like, something came into here and went away. Mm-hmm. So other than that, it was a great time.
Love that.
I got bit like twice by a mosquito, and it was great. But that was it. I almost fell into the water because I'm like, this log looks really solid. I'm gonna stand on it.
I would have loved to see that.
And it wasn't solid. It was very rotten. And I just like, and I kind of slipped. And thankfully, Melissa was right next to me. She's like, Soph! And I was just like, that would have been so embarrassing. But I think almost falling is more embarrassing than actually falling. Because, if you fell. But this was like it's like it's a guessing game for your body. Whatever. It was a terrible experience for the dragonfly. But other than that, it was such a good time. I didn't know that you can. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go again. We're going to set a date. But if you fish and you want to take me to fish, let's do that.
Slide into our DMs.
But here's the thing. I won't go on a boat.
Yeah, it has to be like
Yeah, we went to a park.
Yeah.
And in the park, there was a lake, lagoon, whatever it's called. And that's where we casted.
Okay, everyone. Well, that was today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. And we hope that you enjoy this episode, and stay tuned on our socials. Make sure that you guys turn on the bell notifications, that you guys like and comment and subscribe on our YouTube channel. And make sure that you guys give us some good ratings and That's 5 stars on our podcast.
5 stars only.
5 stars only. That's all we're accepting.
I will delete it. I promise I will.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.